Yes, I'm working out my problems again online. So I had a nice topic and I taken all these notes about the things that I wanted to talk about. And then this morning happened. And by this morning, I mean, a thought occurred to me. And right now, it just won't leave me alone. So I thought that I would come on here and I would talk about it. And the subject that's like right now on my mind so heavily is mindset. I know my mind just went blank. But the topic is mindset. And I'm struggling with it. Not as much as I am with the last video. I'm struggling with it because a lot of the things that I've noticed, because I like to do my research. So I'm one of those, I like to look into things. And this is a subject that I've looked into, especially over the years as I've, have gone on and off working out, weight loss, things like that. And so I've done my research. It's always left me feeling kind of like, and I'm still feeling that way. So I'm trying to figure out, what is it about mindset that is bothering me? I kind of see it as being attached, so to speak, about priorities, because when I look at it this way, for many of us, we know that having a healthy body is what we're supposed to have. We know that it's good for our health. We know that, it can limit, obesity-related illnesses. We know that. We know that we can have a much better, fuller life if we are healthy. So then the problem becomes, why doesn't that seem to sink in? Why is that mindset not seemingly accepted? And I know for me, I'm probably more of an outlier than the norm because I like to do my research. So I've read a lot of articles, a lot of research articles, a lot of fat loss articles. I've listened to a lot of experts in the field. And still, even me knowing what is better for my body, even me, actively doing things, the mindset still wasn't there to make the changes more permanent. And even now, it's a funny thing because I don't know that I actively had set out to start going back to working out, even though I always enjoy working out, even though, I love the hard workouts. I really love the hard workouts, the ones where you're dripping sweat at the end and you're so exhausted and your muscles are burning, because you done squatted till you died or you lunged till you died. And, I love workouts like that. I love lifting. I love strength training. I love those things. And yet I've gone through long phases of doing nothing, of missing the workout, but not actively being willing to do it. Even understanding the research, even understanding, the mentality, even understanding and even looking at my own body and still going, yuck. I don't know. So I don't know. And then I got to thinking that a lot of what I've also seen, a lot of, especially weight loss things, a lot of it seems to be motivated by emotions, and it seems to be motivated by people's emotions about drawing you to this conclusion of feeling emotional about your weight and feeling emotional about your health. And a lot of things have always been about peeling back layers until you start to cry, and you have to get to the deep emotional part and the deep emotional reason about why you're the way you are, how you could have let things get to the way they are. And admittedly, I've never been emotional about my weight. I've never been emotional about my health. I've always been pretty logical about it and accepting the fact that, yes, I'm fat. Yes, I'm at risk for health diseases. Certainly now when I look at the history, like the medical history on my father's side, most definitely it's definitely time to get things under control, because there's a lot of things that I didn't know and understand about that medical history that now I do understand. And now it's imperative that I get myself together, because I don't want to have those issues later on. But still, the motivating factor is still not there. Still, the mindset part doesn't seem to be there, doesn't seem to want me to do that. And so that becomes the thing. Because I like to apply these things to other people as well. And I'm starting to wonder, and I'm starting to think, we're trying to appeal to people's emotions. And I guess to a degree, we're trying to appeal to some people's sense of logic. So obviously, dealing with people's emotions tend to work. That's why, people buy weight loss programs, fat loss programs. That's why they, buy gym memberships. But again, we have people buying gym memberships, but not going to the gym. We have people buying weight loss programs, but not actually doing the weight loss programs. We have people, who want to diet, and yet they fall off the bandwagon really quickly. And for me, I think right now, especially, a funny thing happened that, well, I don't know. I mean, it's not really funny, and it's not necessarily anything, but it's sort of like I had a dream one night. And in the dream, it was like somebody was asking me, because they were saying, you could lose weight. And I remember looking at them and saying, yeah, I know I could, but I don't want to. And I woke up in the morning and I was kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I started working out. And then I started, changing my eating. And then I actually started, doing those things that I had already been doing on and off. But it seems a little different this time. And I'm trying to figure out how much of it is mindset playing a role. I know for me, I don't like things to feel like a job, things that I find fun. I don't want to have to feel like it's a job. I don't want to have to feel like it's something that I have to do, because the moment I have to do it, it ceases to be fun, and it ceases to be something that I enjoy. So you don't do it. And maybe to a degree, that's kind of what working out was, because you can't separate, or you're being told you can't separate the idea of working out as a fat person with, dropping fat. And I enjoy working out, and I enjoy losing fat, because trust me, this last time I gained so much weight. I'm driving myself crazy with this, because I can't stand it. And so I'm wondering, is the mindset there now? Is the mindset of, doing it to do it and not worrying about anything else? I've put up my scale right now. I've put up the scale right now, and I'm only dealing with the measuring tape. And I'm not getting too formal with that either, because I know me and I know that I'm going to obsess over it. And I guess maybe that's the thing too. We become obsessed with things. We become obsessed with the idea of making people drop weight. We are obsessed with forcing people to accept that we're a certain size. We've become obsessed with the whole concept of weight and, what we're supposed to look like and body image and all of that. And I think that in our obsession, we have driven ourselves crazy, and it's become impossible for people to then do things, to change themselves, to work through their problems, because we've driven ourselves crazy, because we've looked at it now as a job. We've looked at it now as something that has nothing to do with having fun. I stopped the idea of going to the gym because I don't like cardio. I don't like cardio machines. I don't like being on the treadmill forever and a day. I don't like being on the elliptical forever and a day. And most gyms have a ton of cardio machines and then very little space for actual weight training. And a lot of the programs that I do, they're hard enough, and you go through enough that it kind of becomes a combination of strength training and cardio at the same time. And I find that a lot more fun than just walking on the treadmill or jogging on the treadmill or, just ellipticaling on the elliptical machine, and I hate the stepper with a passion. So I avoid that machine at all costs. Like, I would rather just walk upstairs and walk downstairs and call that a day. So I avoid the gym because there isn't much there that I feel would benefit me for the type of workout that I like to do. I'm sure there are other gyms, but I got a basement. I have a basement. I have, programs. I have weights. I have a lot of the things that I need, and I do it. Another thing, like, I've always been one where I've said, well, I like to work out at night. And then I think that kind of allowed me to be lazy, because then it'll get late and it's like, instead of working out, I'll watch television or I'll go to bed or, I'll not do what I was supposed to do. So right now, it's like I get up in the morning and I actually do it. So I know that I'm more storytelling than I am talking about the subject. But I think that to a degree, that's kind of the way that we work through things, right? We work through things through telling ourselves the story, through telling ourselves and working our way through it and trying to get to and understand, the root of the problem that we're dealing with, of where we're at. Can I say for certain that, the mindset of this is fully there? I don't know that I can. And I think that might actually be the answer. To a degree, I don't know that we can ever fully know, where our mindset is. I don't know that we can ever fully know where we are. And I think for me especially, I know that tailoring down things seem to be helping a lot, because when you tailor down things and you, I guess, begin to do and not so much think and not so much rationalize and not so much plan, because I have to deal with that as well, that I'm not much of a planner, because if I plan, then I overplan, and then I overplan so much that I never actually do anything that I set out to do because I'm so busy planning. And I don't want to get to that point again. So I'm learning how to just start acting, how to just start, doing some things and seeing how that works. And if it doesn't work, then starting to make slight changes, or if it does work, then, continuing to do it. And maybe to a degree, that is sort of building the mindset of sitting down and saying, hey, that this works for you, or that, you don't like X. You don't like when you have to think about certain things. So let's stop thinking about them. Let's start doing it. Let's start getting to where you need to be by just being more of you. I'm thinking that's probably it. And I could probably go on all day on this, still trying to piece it together, still trying to pull, the threads of it apart and everything. But I don't know that I want to do it on a video. So I guess I'll close with this. Mindset is something that for me, I'm seeing as being a lot more complicated than I think people are making it seem. I don't think that it's a matter of feel emotion, desire to make a change, and then do it. I think it's a lot more complicated. I think it's a lot more, delving deep into yourself and working through things and coming to certain conclusions. And that doesn't always mean emotions. It doesn't always mean that you're going to feel, this heavy sense of emotion. I know that for the majority of people, emotions probably is going to work the best, and feeling a certain sense of emotion is going to be exactly what you'll need to make certain changes in your life. But for those of us that don't feel that heavy sense of emotion, who don't feel that heavy sense of that heavy sense of feeling, we have to take it a different way. We have to understand the problem a different way. I think that, you're still going to be thinking yourself through it, but you're not going to be feeling yourself through it. You're not going to be riding the waves of your emotions. So I don't know that I'm done with the problem yet. And I'm probably sure that after I turn this off, that I will still be working through it. But I'm hoping that it at least gets other people thinking. And I think maybe it's time that we start having an actual conversation about that, because I think that for those of us who like to help other people, I think it's important that we actually deal with the complexities of people and deal with the fact that not everything is one size fits all. Not every person, does things exactly the same way, or feels things exactly the same way, or is willing to go through things exactly the same way. And the weight loss industry is certainly taking advantage of it, because they're looking, because again, they're throwing products on the market, and a lot of it is completely crap. We know that. So the thing becomes, how do we then help people to then tailor things to themselves and get to that place where they can work through their mindset, where they can work through what they want to do, where they can work through what they want to be, where they can, do all these things and become sort of the best person that they can be as an individual. And it's probably going far deeper into the problem than I want to right now. But it kind of is what it is. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.